What's going on YouTube? So today I'm actually going to go over of unique eBay sales in roughly the past month. It's been May 20th through June 16th. So again, basically a month. Just 40 different things that I thought I'd show you. And this is not the first time that I've recorded this video. Unfortunately, my PC is acting up and I actually bought a workstation PC, and I can't wait till it comes. But with that being said, I decided to borrow a Mac uh, just to record this video, and hopefully I can finally get this one out because it should be a fun one. So the first item we have here is a keychain, and I've actually had a whole bunch of these. Just retail arbitrage item. I bought them in bulk. Some are sports teams, some are colleges, and I started them off high, and I ended up lowering to $5, and eventually they started selling. But again, this is just a bread and butter type feedback builder, really. I mean, 50 cents into five, they cost 250 to ship. They go in a tiny bubble mailer. They really don't cost anything. So again, not the biggest money maker by any means, but this is just something that adds to your overall sales, and it's going to get you feedback boosted. So not the best pickup, but again, I'm only into these for 50 cents a pop, and I bought them in a pretty big bulk. So let's check out the next item. All right, the next item on our list here is a vintage Buffalo Bills hat, and I really thought this hat would do better. It's a really cool snapback with that green underbrim, but honestly, it says $8. I didn't even get that for it. I think I put it on like a 10% off sale. So I was really frustrated with this hat. I had to keep lowering it, and I mean, it did ship first class. I made a tiny bit off of it, but honestly, was it worth my time? No, it wasn't. I wouldn't pick it up again, and it was just unfortunate. I thought it would do better, and it didn't. All right, this next item I love. I bought over 200 of these at a Goodwill. I want to say like 235. And the manager is really cool there. I asked him what he would do as far as a discount if I bought them all out, and he said he'd go half price. So I'm literally into these knives for 50 cents a pop. And you know what? 50 cents, they've been selling anywhere between 14 and 25 each. They all ship first class. I have different variations of them. And you know what? This is just an awesome pickup because I was able to buy these in bulk, and I'm going to make a ton of money off of these when it's all said and done. Again, I mean, I kind of went in and just bought them blindly because there was nothing really to compare on eBay. And sometimes you really just have to go with your gut. I mean, I've already made the money back that I put into them and more. And, I'm really happy that I ended up going on my gut feeling. And a lot of times your gut is the right feeling. So, again, super stoked about these. And they ship first class. So I really can't complain with those. All right, this next item, as you can see, is just a different variation of, those vintage knives. They're actually from the 80s, I believe, and they're all new old stock. So it's a really unique item, and I really don't have any other competition. Could I raise the price? Yeah, I could. They have sold for more, but the thing is, I'd rather just sell them out on a semi-steady but slow basis and make that money. We're in the we're in the business to sell things, not hoard them. All right, this next item we have here is a hat that I really thought would do more. I mean, $6, really. I thought I'd get about 15 for this, but really, you live, you learn. And did I make anything off of it? I mean, I made a tiny bit, but was it worth my time? Not at all. I really haven't been buying as many hats. Really, only stuff that I think is really going to sell for good money, over $15. But you know, at least if anything, it's a feedback builder, and I made a little bit of money. All right, these were actually a really cool sale. I was pretty happy with these. Any old media really does well. At least that's what my experience has shown me. I wanted to sell these on Amazon, but there was a problem with the listing, and I just wasn't comfortable with it. I mean, I'm not going to risk my account over some old media. Like, it's just totally not worth it. Amazon's super strict, and you better play by their rules. So I ended up throwing it on eBay for 20 bucks. It actually sold within 1 day. I was kind of surprised about that. But again, old media does really well for whatever reason, especially if it's like old new stock. And I was only into these for $1 each. I got them at a Goodwill. So they did ship first class, and I was happy about that sale. All right, again, this is one of those books that I bought by accident. I'm really good about that nowadays, but back when I bought this, I didn't really skim over my books that I was buying as well. And, it's that uncorrected proof, and you're not really supposed to sell those on Amazon. So I ended up throwing it on eBay, and I really had next to nothing into this book. I think I got it at like a fill bag sale. So I don't know, maybe like 20 cents into this thing. I'm not sure if it shipped first class or medium mail, but either or, super cheap to ship, and I actually recuperated some of what I thought would be a loss because I didn't end up being able to sell it on Amazon. And who knows, I don't remember what the book was going for on Amazon, but I'm happy with the $8. So, all right, let's check out on our next item. We have this Yahtzee handheld game, and it's funny because most of these electronic handheld games nowadays are absolute crap. But here we have a decent one. It's slimlined, and it's pretty sleek looking. I will say that. So it's funny because honestly, this was just something that was sitting around in my room, and I bought it for $1 at a Goodwill, and it sold within a couple of hours. I'm not going to lie. So, I mean, $12. It's only $12, right? But it ships first class. It's nothing to ship. You throw it in a tiny bubble mailer, and I mean, you're off to the races, right? But anyway, I mean, not the biggest moneymaker, but if you could find a couple of these, then that'd be really cool. But again, I was just happy to find one of these handheld electronic games that actually can make you some money. They used to a lot of the handheld games used to sell for like 20 bucks, and nowadays it's hard to sell the things for like $6 shipped, and it's just getting ridiculous. The only way that you can usually make money off of it is bulk, like sell them in a lot of 5 or something, but I really don't like doing that. I really don't find them often enough anymore. So again, they're usually not worth my time, but I was happy with this sale. All right, this is kind of an odd sale we have here. These wheels actually go on to like your luggage, and they're supposed to be like super smooth, and they're actually geared towards people that are going on cruises, I guess. And yeah, they sold for 15 bucks, but I bought them at a garage sale for either a buck or two in my neighborhood, and they actually sold very quickly. And, I probably could have sold them for a little bit more, but some people had brand new and packaged for less than me. So, you know what? I'm okay with the sale. It shipped first class. It just barely. I mean, it was, I think it was like 14 ounces, maybe like 15. So, really close to that 1 pound limit. But again, I mean, throw it in a bubble mailer, really simple to ship. All right, I was pretty happy with this sale actually. A lot of people would pass over this, and that's fine. I mean, it's a little bit of a hassle to package, but it wasn't too bad at all, really. And this is something I want to talk about briefly on. This went through the global shipping program, and ever since I turned on the global shipping option, I started getting overseas sales, and I haven't sold stuff overseas in a while just because I'm not really comfortable with it. I mean, there's a lot of scammers, and really, again, it just came to it wasn't worth my time. It wasn't worth worrying about items and whether they got there or dealing with insurance or whatnot. But it does say 20 bucks. I believe I was running a 10% off sale, and Surprisingly, it was cheap to ship just because it was so light. I mean, when you have bulky things, just because they're bulky, if they're light, they can be cheap to ship. It just depends. All right, we have this sandwich maker. I couldn't sell this on Amazon because the box was a little messed up. It was brand new, but it was open, and I sold it for 26 bucks. I mean, I picked it up at a Salvation Army for like 2.99, maybe 3.99. It shipped pretty close, so again, I think shipping was like 6 or 7 bucks, and definitely okay with that return, guys. All right, this is kind of a bolo. A lot of people don't know you can make money off coffee pots, and I'm always on the lookout for them. And you can get some good money from certain models, surprisingly. I think it's just a common thing that people drop and it breaks and whatnot. So instead of buying a brand new one for 30, there's really no need. I mean, people just go to eBay and buy a used one for 20, 15. It really depends. I've sold uh, these coffee pots as much as like 25-ish, but again, it matters on what model you get. So all right, this Corona hat, it wasn't the biggest money maker, but I mean, I was only into it for a buck. I believe I found it at Goodwill, and it sold pretty quickly. Anything beer related sells pretty quickly, usually, rule of thumb. So, first class ships in that 8 by 6 by 5 box, not bad. All right, I was really happy with this sale. Actually, I had two of these. One was open, one wasn't. But again, when I bought them, I was planning on selling them on Amazon. But unfortunately, Amazon has restricted Bose stuff, so you can't sell it. And I bought these as a bundle deal, so I don't know exactly how much I'm into these each, but I want to say like $5 or $8, somewhere in that price range. And these came around just under 1 pound, so they did ship first class. They were a little bulging from the bubble mailer, but it was perfectly fine. And the people that got them left me positive feedback, so no problems there. All right, I'm finally sold out of this glow in the dark paint. It sold really well for me. Yeah, you see $7 and you're like, how'd you make money? But this was a retail arbitrage item that there were many stores in my area of this particular store that sold this paint that the paint was on clearance for only 35 cents each. And could you have sold one for 5 bucks? Probably, but it really wasn't worth it. I sold them relatively quickly, lotting them up in twos, selling them for like 7 bucks, maybe up to $9. And again, it's not the biggest money maker, but when you have stuff in bulk, it's really nice because you just keep relisting, and it's just a continuous money maker. All right, this water bottle was actually a breast cancer awareness model, and it was used. I mean, a lot of people sleep on water bottles, and that's fine. I mean, you don't have to sell water bottles by any means, but you can definitely make money off some water bottles, especially if they're in good condition. And you'd be surprised because sometimes you can get really nice water bottles at some of these thrift stores in bulk, like a whole family. Usually, when people buy water bottles, I think they might buy brand new ones for the whole family and then just donate their old ones. So, again, something to be on the lookout for if you're interested. These you can just throw in a bubble mailer and they're good to go, and they only weigh a couple of ounces with the bubble mailer. So, I mean, it really costs nothing to ship, and usually you can get these at thrift stores for like 50 cents to a buck. I mean, some of them are getting kind of ridiculous because I think some of them have caught on and they want to price them at like 3.99, and I mean at that point it's usually not worth it unless you could really buy bulk and maybe like new other condition. But again, I was happy with this sale, and I did have a another one to be able to relist, so that was cool. again, I mean, I was into this for under $1. So I mean, 1 into 11. All right, this item actually, I like the sale, but then again, I didn't. It sold for $28, and the picture actually was cracking, as I stated in the listing. But people like these vintage blenders or whatnot. I think they use them for decoration. I hope so. I mean, you really shouldn't be using these things, but I mean, to each their own and whatever. But with that being said, I mean, I was only into this for like $2.99, possibly $3.99. And the funny thing is, I actually have another one that I need to take pictures and just relist. So that'll be cool when I do that. Shipping wasn't bad. It went semi-locally. I I want to say it was like $8 to ship. It's on the heavier side, but it's not overly heavy. I want to say it weighed like 6 pounds. Again, I don't want to misquote, but off the top of my head, I think that's what it weighed. And you can fit it in a semi small box. I mean, it's not a huge box, but it's smaller than most people would think. All right, this item looks really cool, and it was cool, and I thought I would get more money out of it, but the fact of the matter is, I ended up selling it for an offer of $50. I know it says 130, but that's incorrect. And you know what? I'm happy with the sale because the problem was there was nothing that showed that it was true from 1977. So I couldn't verify the date, and I sold it for $50. I was literally into this for $2 at a Salvation Army. So 2 into 50, and it shipped first class. I mean, it weighed nothing. So the buyer was happy. The buyer actually offered me $50 a whole bunch of times, and I just said, I can't do it, I can't do it. And then finally, I'm like, you know what? I'm tired of this thing. I'll take $50 out of it. I mean, I sold it for 25 times than what I paid for it. So sometimes you have to take less money, and sometimes what you think you're going to get is not what reality is, and you have to take that money. I mean, you get that money, and then you buy other stuff, and it's just a domino effect. It's just, basically a snowman. You're just building that money up. All right, this one was not a good sale at all. The only thing that bailed me out is it came under 1 pound, so I did end up shipping it first class. But I want to say I paid like $4 for this. I didn't make any money off of it. So this was a bad buy. Some people were selling this brand new. Mine was new other, but some people were selling it brand new in the package for like $13. And I have absolutely no idea how they were making any money whatsoever. All right, this was actually a really good buy. I found this at my local Goodwill for $2.99, and I ended up selling it for $28. I probably could have got more money on it if there wasn't for the marking all over the package. Someone wrote in marker, probably some kid, and obviously the people had kids because it's a kids DVD learning type thing, I believe. But anyway, I mean, 2.99, shipped first class, sold for $28. I know I made $20 off this, and that's not bad at all. All right, I know this is hard to believe, but it was a weird situation, and I ended up getting these for basically free. At a Salvation Army, I bought four, and then I was gonna buy another four, but when we checked in this box, two of them were broken. So the cashier basically just said, you know what, you can just have these. So sold these for $19, it looks like, and I didn't make that much off of it, and I really don't like shipping glass. So would I buy this again? I mean, I got it for free, so I would sell it again if I got it again for free. But would I pay for these? Probably not. I'm just so worried when it comes to shipping glass that I usually end up going USPS priority and getting that insurance basically. but I did make some decent money off of it because it wasn't it didn't weigh anything and the box wasn't too big. So, all right, this hat was really cool, guys. This FedEx hat I got at a local estate sale, as well as another FedEx hat that's currently in my store, but it didn't sell yet. And it says $35. I didn't sell it for that. I ended up taking an offer of 25 bucks, but I was literally into these hats for $1. And $1 into 25 for hats, I mean, I will do that any day of the week, and I wish I could pick up hats like that all the time. This was the only one on eBay, so I could demand a little bit higher price for that. So, just really happy with those hats, and some of these really unique hats you can really fetch some decent money with. Again, it ships first class in a small box, so not bad. All right, this is an item that I actually ended up getting for free. And whenever you can get stuff for free, I mean, try to sell it on eBay. Why not, right? So I think shipping was like 6 or 7 bucks. So didn't make a killing off of these, but I mean, again, it was free. All right, this is kind of an awkward item. I did ship these into Amazon originally, and it was kind of disappointing because both of them ended up getting sent back to Amazon. The customer returned them, and I hate to say this, but I feel like Amazon customers are either lazy or they're a little bit less intelligent. I don't want to say that, but you know what, I did. Or maybe, I don't know. Just because they were returned and they were in perfect condition, I think the buyers they just couldn't figure out how to use it. That is my guess, because why would two different buyers do the exact same thing? And there was not a problem with the unit. I sold them on eBay actually very quickly, and the eBay buyers were pleased and they left good feedback. And you know what? I was into these items for $15 a pop. It was a retail arbitrage item. And with that being said, would I sell these on Amazon again? No, I wouldn't, because you know what? I don't even like dealing with anything semi difficult to use. I don't know, I guess I'll say something like that. Like electronics. If if you need some type of intelligence, I'd be weary of selling it on Amazon. Just because Amazon buyers, again, there's higher returns and it's doesn't help your metrics any. So I would just go and sell them on eBay. I mean, these did ship first class, so that was cool. But it was kind of a hassle. I mean, again, you have to recall it, and recalling it really doesn't take much money at all. So that's not too bad. It was just annoying. All right, here I bought this at a Salvation Army. The discs were in excellent condition. I wish I was ungated with DVDs and whatnot on Amazon, but the matter is I'm just not. So I sell what I can on eBay, and I use Declutter if I can get DVDs super cheap. So I sold it for 15 bucks. I want to say I paid $1 or $2 at Salvation. I mean, I easily netted 10 bucks. And they ship in those really small bubble mailers, and they're so easy. You know they're gonna get there fine. So I like the sale. All right, this was an item I wasn't too happy with. It was a retail arbitrage item. I want to say I paid like 50 cents or 75 cents each. Yeah, they did end up going first class, but the problem was I really didn't, I don't know, it wasn't worth my time. I didn't make what I wanted to make off of them. I mean, originally I thought I'd get about 30 bucks for these because I want to say brand new. I mean, I don't want to misquote you again, but I want to say brand new. These cost like $6 each. And for whatever reason, people were just selling them too cheap, and I didn't make the money that I really thought I was going to. So a little bit of a disappointment there, and I wouldn't pick it up again. All right, we have this Scrabble game, and this Scrabble game, it's a cool game. This is a travel edition, a special edition, but the problem was I was missing three tiles, and would I pick this up again? I'll let you know. I will only pick this up if I count all the tiles and they're there. Because when you have Scrabble and you don't have all the tiles, people do not want to pay up for the item. It's just it is what it is. And people like complete games, and this wasn't complete. So I probably made my money back, and that's about it. I don't even recall what I paid for it, but I was disappointed for the sale. I wouldn't pay up that much for this because you're really not going to get that high of a price for something like that. All right, this was a lesson. Uh, I thought this was going to bring in more. So sometimes things just go down in price, and that's the way it is. You see that I sold it for $21, but I don't think I made any money off of it, and I might have lost a little money on it. I paid up for it. I definitely paid up for this. I paid $15 for it at a Goodwill, and I thought this special edition was really going to make me some money, but people kept dropping prices, and I think it just ended up being a price war on eBay. And you know what? This was brand new sealed, and you see the Best Buy sticker at $50. At one point in time, when I originally bought it, people were selling this for like 35 bucks, and for whatever reason, mine didn't sell, and I had to keep lowering the price. All right, these launcher tees, I would definitely pick these up again. This was a retail arbitrage item I got for like 75 cents a pop, and I did ended up buying these in bulk, so that was the main factor here. Again, I just kept relisting it, and you see three sold here, but I'll tell you right now, I've sold more, and there were people that bought more than one. So that's where you really start to make some money, because again, these are so light that they're shipping first class. It doesn't matter if you sell three of these to one person, you're paying the same amount of shipping. Now, again, if you charge for shipping, it's a different matter, but I predominantly do free shipping, and I totally believe in it. All right, this item I got at a garage sale for a buck. It was expired. I did state it in the listing. It was new. Um, I sold it for 12 bucks. It sold very quickly. I want to say it sold within like 3 days. So happy about that. And I made some decent money. I mean, I shipped it in a small bubble mailer. It's so easy to ship. You can do really good with some ink. All right, this item was kind of frustrated because I sold this once, and the buyer made a bogus return. They said that it was broken, and as soon as you put the golf ball on, it started wobbling and whatever. But the buyer was just straight out lying. But again, you have to you have to really kind of weigh your options. And was it worth my time to fight a $20 return? No, not at all. I just took it. It's the cost of business, right? And the funny thing is, the second time that I sold it, after I relisted it, it sold very quickly. It sold probably in a day or two, and once the buyer got it, they were really happy, and they left me good feedback right away. So, it's just one of the things that comes with the cost of business. All right, this was a retail arbitrage item that I bought. I paid $5.99, I believe, for this item. And it's funny because it's just like these band-aids I sold for 20 bucks. And they do ship first class, so they don't really cost much to ship. I probably made like 10 bucks off of these. All right, everybody knows these, and if you don't, now you do. Polaroid cameras. You definitely make money off of these, and I'm really happy because it sold to Cream City Cameras or whatever their name is, and they are in the Midwest. I'm in the Midwest, so shipping was super cheap. It cost like $6 to ship to them. I believe they're located in Wisconsin. And cosmetically, this thing was really nice, but I listed it as untested, and they bought it right up. So very happy. I mean, I paid $1 for this at a garage sale, and you can find these at garage sales for $1. So something to be on the lookout for sure. All right, I'm finally sold out of these lace locks, and this was a retail arbitrage item. I got these anywhere between 50 cents and $1. I bought them at multiple retail locations, and it sucks because actually the retail location they price their sell differently. All the stores, it's very weird. But anyway, I sold them for $8 a piece and very happy with them. I mean, super easy to ship. They ship first class right in a small bubble mailer. So those were good. And again, that's one of those items that I bought in bulk, sold over time, and this is making you money constantly in bulk, and I love those items. All right, this is an item that a lot of people sleep on, Othello. And again, it doesn't matter what year that these are made, they all make you money and they all sell for over 20 bucks. This is 100% complete actually. It had the box and the manual. And the thing that I love about this game is it's so easy to figure out whether it's complete or not. All you have to do is count and make sure there's 64 discs. Some of the versions might come with extras, but that's not needed. You only need to make sure that there's 64 discs, and then they're good to go because that's how many tiles there are. This is actually a really fun game. It's a classic, really, and I have no idea why people sell this for less than 20 bucks because this will sell all day for over 20. I've sold them anywhere between 20 and up to $45 if they're new or like new other condition. So definitely something to be on the lookout for. And again, don't underprice your stuff. There's no reason to. And this is very simple. I just throw it in a poly bag and you're good to go. All right, this item was kind of interesting. It did go through the global shipping program, and it's funny because as soon as I turned on global shipping, some of the stuff that's been sitting around just started to come off the shelves. So I don't recall what country this went to, but it is kind of funny because I do recall that they paid more for shipping than the actual item. And yeah, it doesn't look too much, but I'm only into this for $1 at a Goodwill. I'm surprised the Goodwill didn't price this higher, but yeah, I paid $1 for this. And the problem was it's the base station, but I couldn't really test its functionality because to do that you had to download software and all this other crap that I just didn't want to deal with time wise. And surprisingly, this came in under a pound, so it was first class. All right, this item we have here, just a regular run-of-the-mill wallet, and sold it for 18 bucks. Started it higher, but I'm happy with 18. I mean, I literally bought this at a Salvation Army for $1, maybe even under $1. I mean, a lot of stuff at the Salvation Army I go to, they price weird. Like this might have been like 74 cents or 79 cents or something like that. That's like a typical price there, because you know what? They price their stuff to go, and that's how they should. Because I mean, come on, they're getting it for free. They should just want to get rid of it as fast as they can so they can get more donations out from the back. And believe me, this Salvation has tons of stuff in the back. So this shit first class right in a bubble mailer, real simple. Buyer was happy. Again, $1 into 18, easy money. All right, this was an interesting item, and I was definitely happy with it. It was a retail arbitrage item. I mean, you can see the lot was sold for $14. I'm literally into these for 50 cents a pop, and I bought these in bulk. I want to say I had maybe 70 of these things, and I sold them in all different types of lots in different sizes, and I sold them anywhere between 10 and 20 bucks each. And over time, I made some good money off of these. So definitely happy with that. And these things are so light. They're knitting needles made out of bamboo. And they all the lot ship first class. So easy money. All right, this item, I wasn't happy with the sale, but you live, you learn. And it's cool to say that I sold zombie repellent. Anything Nerf, be on the lookout for, and it's definitely worth looking up. So again, this was a retail arbitrage item. I picked it up for like a buck a pop, so not terrible, but it wasn't a huge money maker by any means. Well, this concludes the video, guys. I really hope that you liked seeing these unique items that I sold in basically the past month on eBay. And I'd really appreciate it if you could give me a thumbs up. And if you like this video, I think you should definitely think about subscribing.